In football, some national teams win with ease, some national teams struggle a bit before they win, and some national teams stand on the edge of the abyss, then come back at the very last moment. And that's exactly what happened in the match between Brazil and Japan. Because anyone who only sees the final score will say, Brazil won 2-1, that's it. The favorite won, and the story is over. But the truth is, Brazil was only a few minutes away from one of the biggest upsets of the tournament. And Japan was only moments away from making new history. But in the 95th minute, everything changed. Before the match, there was a reason why the Brazilians were a little worried. Because Japan is no longer the team people used to know. Japan entered the tournament with great confidence. And they had a very pleasant memory. Because just a few months earlier, they had defeated Brazil 3-2 in a historic friendly match. Japan's first ever victory over Brazil. That's why the Blue Samurai entered the match believing they could repeat the upset. As for Brazil, they came into the match knowing that there are no second chances in the knockout stage. One mistake, one moment, one ball could end the entire tournament. And with the opening whistle, Brazil started exactly as expected. Possession, passing, pressure, and control of the ball. The statistics after the match show that in a striking way. 60% possession, 679 passes, 92% pass accuracy, 20 total shots, 7 shots on target, and 6 corner kicks. Numbers that clearly show Brazil was the dominant side. But the problem is, football isn't decided by statistics alone, because Japan had a different plan. Defense, discipline, and hitting on the counter-attack. They were waiting for just one mistake. And then, the mistake came. In the 29th minute, Danilo misplaced a pass, and the ball reached Kaishu Sano. Sano couldn't believe the gift. He drove forward with the ball, advanced toward goal, and fired a powerful low shot. It found the back of the net, 1-0 to Japan, and suddenly, the Brazilian fans fell silent. And suddenly, signs of concern began to appear. Because Brazil had been the better team, but Japan was the one that scored. And what made it even better for the Japanese was that the goal wasn't a lucky one, nor did it come from a random moment. The goal came from pressure, from capitalizing on a mistake, and from excellent execution that made Japan's confidence grow even more. As the minutes passed, the Brazilian nerves began to show. Every attack that broke down, every backward pass, every missed chance only increased the tension. Meanwhile, Japan defended as if they were playing for the last ball of the tournament, and the Asian side finished the first half in front. The general feeling was that the upset could really happen, but this is where the difference between the biggest national teams and the rest became clear. Because Brazil entered the second half with a completely different mentality. Carlo Ancelotti changed a few details, adjusted the attacking approach, and told his players to stay patient because the match wasn't over. At the start of the second half, the Brazilian siege began. Relentless pressure, wave after wave of attacks, and chances from every direction. And as the minutes went by, Japan's confidence kept growing. Because the players began to feel that the plan was working, and that despite Brazil's overwhelming possession, they still couldn't find the solution. This was the most dangerous period for the Brazilian national team, because the tension began to show. The fans started to worry, and time began to slip away faster than they wanted, especially since every passing minute brought Japan closer to another historic achievement. At one moment, Japanese defender Takehiro Tomiyasu cleared the ball off the goal line. In another moment, the defense made a last-second intervention. It was clear that Japan had entered a heroic defensive phase. Then came the 56th minute, the moment that brought the match back to life. Gabriel Magalhães delivered a superb cross, and Casemiro arrived from deep, rose above everyone, and headed the ball into the net, 1-1. And then Brazil was back. The entire stadium felt that the match had started all over again. The goal didn't just change the score, it changed the entire psychological momentum of the match, because Japan suddenly lost the sense of security they had enjoyed for more than 50 minutes, and Brazil suddenly regained complete belief. That's the difference between an equalizer in a regular match and an equalizer in a knockout match, because one goal can change everything, and that's exactly what happened. The strange thing was, Casemiro himself had been one of the most criticized players before the match, but in the biggest moments, the big players step up, and that's exactly what he did. After the goal, the match became almost completely one-sided. Relentless Brazilian attacks. Japan began to fall back, defend, and simply try to hold on. In one of the most dangerous moments, Vinicius Jr. dribbled past more than one defender, entered the penalty area, and shot. But goalkeeper Zion Suzuki got a touch on the ball, and the post did the rest. A chance that came incredibly close to becoming Brazil's second goal was gone. In truth, if there is one Japanese player who deserves praise, despite the elimination, it is goalkeeper Zion Suzuki. Because the man was facing a flood of attacks, he made several crucial saves, and forced Brazil to wait until the 95th minute to score the winning goal. Without his outstanding performance, The match could have been decided much earlier. As the end approached, people began talking about extra time because Japan was holding on. And despite all the chances, Brazil still couldn't score the second goal. As the final 10 minutes began, it became clear that Japan's physical condition was starting to decline because the defense had been chasing the ball for almost the entire match. Brazil kept moving the ball from side to side, trying to break through the last defensive line. Every attack was more dangerous than the one before, and every minute brought the decisive moment closer. Spaces began to appear. Signs of fatigue started to show on the players, but they kept resisting, kept fighting, and cleared the ball any way they could. As the match entered the 90th minute, the Japanese fans began to dream. They began to dream of their first victory in the FIFA World Cup knockout stage. They began to dream of a historic achievement. They began to dream of eliminating Brazil itself. But the problem was, Brazil never gave up, nor did it lose its belief. And that may be the greatest quality of the biggest national teams. They keep believing until the very last second, even when things get complicated, even when time is running out, even when the opponent refuses to break. Then, in the 95th minute, came the moment that shattered Japan's dream. Bruno Guimaraes played the pass. Gabriel Martinelli received the ball and had a split second to think. He looked up, picked his spot, and shot. The ball hit the back of the net. 2-1 to Brazil. An explosion in the stands, an explosion on the bench, and an explosion everywhere filled with yellow shirts because qualification was snatched at the very last possible moment. The strange thing was, the goal came at the exact moment when many people had already started thinking about extra time. In fact, some Japanese fans already believed their team had accomplished the first mission, which was surviving the 90 minutes. But football sometimes doesn't give you the chance to catch your breath. And sometimes the punishment for a single second of losing concentration is elimination from the FIFA World Cup. That goal was not an ordinary goal because it became one of the latest winning goals scored in regular time in the history of the knockout stage, and because it ended one of the strongest displays of resistance in the tournament so far. As for Japan, the disappointment was devastating because the team resisted for 94 minutes, defended, fought, and executed its game plan brilliantly. But in the end, it fell at the very last moment. And that is one of the cruelest ways to be eliminated from the FIFA World Cup. In truth, if we look at the match from a broader perspective, we find that it was a clash between two completely different philosophies. Japan relied on discipline, organization, collective defending, and counter-attacking football. Brazil relied on quality, possession, constant pressure, and individual brilliance. In the end, quality prevailed, but only after far more suffering than anyone had expected. If we look only at the statistics, we understand that Brazil deserved the victory. 20 shots compared to 5, 7 shots on target compared to 2, 679 passes compared to a much lower number for Japan, 6 corner kicks compared to 2. Almost every statistic favored Brazil. But what made the match great was that Japan turned it into a real battle. Not just a match between the favorite and the Asian champion. It was a battle of nerves, a battle of patience, a battle of belief. In the end, Brazil knew it had qualified, that it would continue its journey, and that the dream of a sixth star was still alive. As for Japan, despite the elimination, it left with the respect of the entire world, because it proved once again that it has become one of the toughest national teams anyone can face in any major tournament. In the end, people will remember that Brazil defeated Japan 2-1. But those who watched the match will know that the story was bigger than the result. It was the story of a Japanese team that was only seconds away from history. The story of a Brazilian team that refused to surrender, the story of Casemiro, who restored hope, and the story of Martinelli, who stole the spotlight in the 95th minute. It was a story that proved just one thing. Against Brazil, you have to stay focused until the very last second, because 1 second can steal your entire FIFA World Cup dream. On that night, Brazil survived, Japan fought, and football gave us another lesson, that the biggest matches do not end until the final whistle.